Hello everybody, welcome back to C&S Corvettes in beautiful sunny Sarasota, Florida. It's your Corvette buddy Lyle here to talk to you about more interesting, exciting, and hopefully helpful Corvette stuff. Last week we talked a little bit about the E-Ray, which was a all-wheel drive 650 horse mid-engine Corvette. But it wasn't the first one. So after we did our little E-Ray video last week, talking about the current market for those cars and touching a little bit, refreshing everybody's memory on what the car is, what it does, how it's built, blah, blah, blah. Tony was talking to me about this other car he found called the CERV-3 or CERV-3, which stands for Chevrolet Engineering Research Vehicle number 3. Now, this is the nomenclature that is used for Corvette concept cars when they're really trying to push the envelope. And he said, Lyle, I found one of these cars that really reminds me of the E-Ray, and the CERV-3 was it. It was an evolution of the Corvette Indy concept car, and it was intended to be GM's showpiece at the 1990 Detroit Auto Show. Now, tell me if this sounds familiar. All-wheel drive, 650 horses. Computer-controlled active suspension. Now, it also had things that the E-Ray didn't have. It had four-wheel steering, it had 6-speed automatic transmission, and it had dual discs at each wheel for the brakes. The body was made from an exotic mix of carbon fiber, Kevlar, and Nomex. It was reinforced with aluminum, and some suspension components were made from titanium. Inside, the CERV-3 had a gamepad-like controller, all kinds of buttons, and a small CRT display. Contemporary videos actually show a moving map navigation system, even though this was 5 years before GPS was even introduced. Now, the CERV-3 had some major differences from the bones of the Corvette Indy. It had a shortened nose and sat a little higher off the ground, so ride height was a little more real world. The side glass was shaped so it could roll down into the doors rather than hugging the wheels, and the wheel arches allowed for a reasonable amount of suspension travel. It also had the scissor doors, because back in 1989 and 1990, everybody who was 14, 15, 16 years old, like I was at the time, had a poster of a Lamborghini Countach on their wall. The CERV-3 was powered by the LT5, which was the Lotus engineered 32-valve double overhead cam motor built by Mercury Marine that was found in the ZR1 that was also introduced in 1990. But this version had 2 Garrett turbochargers, which boosted the car to 650 horses and 655 foot-pounds of torque. And what's crazy is that is almost like right there compared to where the E-Ray is today. It would do 0 to 60 in 3.9 seconds and could pull 1.1 Gs on the skid pad. So this car was, remember, this is 1990, guys. We're talking a long time ago. And this car was really perfectly usable and production ready. The problem is that if it had gone into production, the reported price in 1990 would have started around the neighborhood of $300,000 to $400,000, which adjusted for inflation today would be somewhere between $800,000 and $1 million, which is crazy numbers for a Corvette, no matter how special it is. The CERV-3 was added to a video game called Test Drive 3: The Passion, so the public could drive the car. Now, while this car never made it to production, a lot of what they learned during the engineering of this car was retained by GM and was actually put into use throughout the continuing C5, C6, C7, and now C8 model years. So this car is not just a showpiece. They actually really pushed the boundaries, and it does show you what the engineers and the car guys, the true, the dudes who smell like gasoline at GM are capable of when they're given free rein. And we've kind of see that now with the new Z06, the E-Ray, and of course the upcoming ZR1. So the CERV-3 today, I believe, lives at the National Corvette Museum. And if you go there, you can see it. It is a very, very impressive car, not only for its time, but for any time. And yeah, I think it's really cool. What do you guys think about it? Should GM have tried to make it as a halo car back then? I don't know. I don't know that there would have been a market for it, because even the ZR1 cost double the cost of a regular Corvette at that time. So don't know. But what a neat concept. And now here we are, 30 some years later, and it's come to fruition with the E-Ray. Well, that's it for today. I hope you have a wonderful day. Comments below, and talk to you soon.